Welcome to Folklore Unlocked. I'm Austin, and I'm joined by Ethan.
Hello there again.
And this week we're covering some mysterious staircases, which include the staircases in National Forest and the miraculous staircase located in New Mexico. So, Ethan, do you want to cover the staircases in the National Forest?
I would like that because I don't know about the miraculous staircase. This will make it easy on me. So the staircases in the natural forest first came from a Reddit post in r/no sleep, which I'm a part of. So I did hear about this whenever it first came out, but I did not stick up with it as there were like 6 or 7 posts afterwards. But the first reporter was the Redditor Search and Rescue in the Woods, and he's supposed to be a rescue officer in natural forests, and he goes around, finds people that are lost and everything like that. But when they're in the forest, apparently there's staircases. Like, this isn't like a picture from the thing or anything, but it's just a weird staircase. And apparently it's pretty common to find staircases in woods. I haven't walked around in very many woods, but you're just not supposed to talk about them. Just supposed to leave them and not do anything. Uh, Redditor Case 9 reports they climbed up a set of staircases and saw a dark, lean figure, or lean face, and round black eyes looking back at them from a crater. I didn't see that, but I guess you did, Austin?
Yep.
Oh. I say both reports were from that subreddit, r/no sleep. And a well-kept graveyard is sometimes found near the stairs, as well as disappearing body parts and people. Think there seems to be a lot of disappearing people around these staircases, so that's normal, I guess. Or not normal, but uh, kind of like it says here, it's a proven hoax since nothing supernatural happens near staircases. So, like the next stuff I'm going to talk about, just think of it as a story. So they're also called stairs to nowhere sometimes. And the rules to these stairs are never go near them, never touch them, and never ascend the staircase. Here are some of the stories that I found on the r/no sleep subreddit. So, and these were from like the original poster. So, one person ascended the stairs, and at the top, he noticed he couldn't hear any sounds. Like all the sounds of the forest stopped. He couldn't hear any people or anything like that. And they were out trying to rescue someone, but they never ended up finding the person. And he got yelled at for walking up the stairs, and he was blamed for being the reason they could not find the person just for walking up the stairs. Which, I don't know about you, Austin, but that sounds really sketchy to me.
Yeah.
It's like, why would just walking up a random staircase be like, oh, now we can't find that person? But
Dimensional rift, I guess.
maybe they went to a parallel universe. Hmm, I'm liking that. So, anyways, another found a lost child at the bottom of a staircase, and the child was dead and had quarter-sized holes in almost all its organs, but there were no entry or exit wounds to see at all. So, just like he's just like Swiss cheese. There's also been times where people, like, there were some people camping, and in the middle of the night, I think they woke up, and I forgot there was some girl that was, like, drawn to the staircase, kind of like they were calling to them, or possibly hypnotizing them, so they might have some hypnotic effect on people. Then some guy. Oh, this was one I like, because it kind of connects to another story that happened later on that he tells. But some guy was walking up the staircase, and as he got to the very top, his hand got sliced off. I don't know where at, like hand arm region, but yeah, his hand just like, and it disappeared. And later on in the story, there are people that are cutting down parts of the forest, and they cut into a tree, and they find a hand. So somehow his hand got transported, possibly from the top of the staircase to the inside of a tree, but that wasn't ever like for sure set.
Gotta be a dimensional rift.
That's the thing. Like just them walking to the top of a staircase and having their like arm like cut off. It's like from being hypnotized to getting like things cut off to having like holes put in your organs and like everything else. Like there's a lot of weird stuff that happens in these stories. So
Yeah, well, say you said you haven't walked in woods very much, but I hunt, so I've spent plenty of time in woods and have saw no staircases.
that's the thing. I've walked around the woods at my house and then a couple state parks, but that's about it. And I've never seen any staircases. But staircases are supposed to be like one of the stronger pieces of houses. So plus when they're made of like concrete or stone or something like that, if a house breaks down, burns down, or whatever, the staircase could possibly be left. So they're probably just staircases from old houses.
Yeah, if anything, it's got a natural explanation, just a surviving piece of a building that was there that's no longer there.
Yeah.
So and the child with quarter-sized holes in almost all their organs with no entry or exit holes. There's gotta be entry or exit wounds somewhere.
Or what if there was like some sort of poison or acid or whatever? What if they had like somehow taken
That
something?
too. It's gotta be poison or entry or exit wounds have to be visible for it to be quarter sized.
Yeah, like actually I'm sitting here like looking at a quarter right now. That's like I could understand like a dime size hole or like maybe like something like a pin size holes or whatever, but like quarter size are just huge.
Yeah, that's about the size of a piece of metal in a deer slug.
I was getting ready to ask you, I'm like, what type of like ammunition would be that size? But I guess a slug.
But yeah,
Hmm.
say that's the only thing off of the top of my head that could, you know, consistently be about the size of a quarter.
And now, aren't exit wounds usually bigger than the entry wounds because it kind of like
Yes,
explodes out? Okay, that's
yes,
so. Even if you didn't see an entry wound, there would definitely be an exit wound. Like you'd be able to see
big
it.
time. But now we're going to a miraculous staircase, which is located in the Loretta Chapel in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and the chapel is a former Roman Catholic church, which now operates as a museum and wedding chapel, which was building about 1878.
It looks
I
pretty
have
nice.
I have saw different years which it was finished. Some saying 1877, some saying like 1880, but I I consistently saw 1878 as when it was completed for the most part.
They could have still been adding stuff to it and like finished the main building and could been like adding extra stuff. Like I see statues and stuff, like a statue, some
Yeah,
a steeple, everything like that.
and the legend of the building, the miraculous staircase, was that the choir loft was inaccessible except by ladder when the chapel was finished. So the nuns of the chapel started praying to Saint Joseph, the patron saint of carpenters, and also the legal father of Jesus on earth. And on the ninth day, an unknown man with a donkey and carpenter tools showed up looking for work. And after a few months, the man just finished and got up and essentially disappeared without so much as getting a thank you from anybody, let alone getting paid. And the staircase is 20 feet tall and makes two 360-degree turns. And now, and the railing was added after the staircases and the man disappeared, so the only support seems like nothing.
So he didn't add the railing. The railing was added after he left.
Yes.
Okay, I did not know that.
And there was a search into this man that they either thank him or pay him for his work, and people even took out a newspaper ad in hopes of finding him. But like I said, he seemingly disappeared into thin air without ever being found.
So he must have been a pretty good carpenter to be able to build that and then not just like disappear. You think there's only a few people that could do that type of work around that area? I don't know.
Especially at the in the late 1870s.
Yeah.
Now, some people believe the man was Saint Joseph because nuns prayed to him. The staircase has 33 steps, in which was how old Jesus was when he was crucified. And like I mentioned, Saint Joseph was the legal father of Jesus, and that the staircase is held together by nothing but wooden pegs. Another reason that people believe that Saint Joseph built the staircase was that the kind of wood used is not native to New Mexico and hasn't been found anywhere else in the world. I believe it's a type of spruce.
Okay, so they do know what type of wood it is. It's just not found around New Mexico. Is that right?
Yeah, that they don't know what kind of spruce it is. They just know it's a kind of spruce.
That's really weird because that you need quite a bit of wood to build that staircase and stuff like that, and like it not being found around New Mexico. Do you have it like shipped in or something?
Well, it's not also not found anywhere else in the world. So, and
Hmm.
this has been like scientifically, tested. So,
That kind of reminds me like is it Evan Almighty, the one where he built the ark, or
I'm not sure.
it was either Evan or Bruce Almighty. I can't remember which one, but like it was gopher wood, and it just like got dropped off magically, and it's like, oh yes, gopher wood.
And then another theory was that it was a French man living in New Mexico named, and forgive me for the pronunciation, I am not French, but Francois Jean Roca, also known as Frank or Frenchy, built the staircase. And Roca's was known to have been a skilled carpenter, and he was also paid by the nuns for wood. So we've got a spiritual theory and a earthly theory on who built the miraculous staircase.
Well, if he was a skilled carpenter and like they paid him for like wood and stuff like that, maybe he would have known where the wood came from or something like that. I wonder if they ever asked him.
I cannot tell you that. So,
I mean, that seems more likely. I mean, it's a skilled person around there that would have been in the right area. I mean, other than the wood, like finding out what type of wood it was and everything else, and like why he left, I without being paid, I have no idea. But
And Frenchie was known to be kind of reclusive in what I found, so
okay, so that might be he might have left without saying anything. Then I don't know. Hmm.
but he also had a place where he lived, so people knew where he could be found at. So
Hmm. Whatever it is, pretty cool staircase.
then my thoughts on the stairs in the forest is just a story made up to scare people because people like to scare other people with scary stories. Plus, it was posted to r/no sleep, which is known for scary stories and people making up all kinds of stuff just to scare other people. And then I kind of want to believe that Saint Joseph built this miraculous staircase, but I think there's a good chance that Rokas built it just because he was a skilled carpenter that lived in the same area and was a bit reclusive.
That all you got to say about it?
Yeah,
Okay, I forgot to put my thoughts on here, but kind of like you said, Austin. It was on r/no sleep. It is known for like just making stories that keep you up at night. So I mean, I did not. Whenever I first saw the post, I didn't believe it. It was one of those things. It was just a kind of story I just read, and I didn't know it got updated until you mentioned it. But yeah, it's like I would say it's as close to 100% as you can get to saying like, oh, it's not true. Now, there might be weird stuff that happened around staircases, but I really doubt there's. These stories were not true. I can say that for sure. Um, yeah, I just think the staircase is just leftovers from like houses that have fallen or something like that. Or maybe there's. Oh, I actually remembered a story they said on there that they found a staircase that had carpet on it that was new. Did you read that one, Austin?
I think I remember hearing it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, like new carpet and stuff like that. Like that's weird. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, there could just be some weird guy out there putting staircases out in the woods. I have no idea.
yeah. There's some weird people out in the world.
Mm. But yeah, just leftovers from houses that have broken down, everything like that. Uh, the miraculous staircase. Probably Frenchie. That I'll just say it uses the nickname Frenchie. That's easier to say. But he probably built it. I mean, it's nice story to think that Saint Joseph did and everything, but I feel like Frenchie's probably just a really good stair maker, a very good carpenter, and he probably just built it. And maybe the nuns didn't know about him, and maybe the other people did, so they didn't even think to look at his house. I have no idea. But
Yeah,
it is kind of weird that they still don't know what type of wood it was used, other than like it's probably a type of spruce. I feel like they'd at least know
yeah,
what type.
yeah. It's a type of spruce which isn't native to New Mexico and hasn't been identified anywhere in the world except for this specific staircase in New Mexico.
Ah, so Frenchie cut down a tree, one of its kind, and now it's dead. I get you. I say that's all I gotta say about the staircases.
Yeah, bit of a shorter episode this week, but you know, got some mysterious staircases out of the way. Next week we might be looking at a giant squid. So
Hey, don't give away too much, okay?
I said might.
I hope we are. I hope we are. I'm excited for it.
Well, thanks for listening if you're listening on Spotify, and thanks for watching if you're on YouTube, and we'll see you next week.
Yep. Bye, everyone.